Hello students, welcome to MBA 360. We've been doing a series of B schools that you should be looking for, especially specialized ones, and possibly they're public sector unit driven or government funded. Because the reason why we are covering these institutes is they are very good institutes, public funded, the fee would be moderate, and the placement is more or less reasonably guaranteed because a lot of specialized companies go and visit these kind of institutions. And from that perspective, we're about to cover one more, which are essentially meant for those who are financially inclined, they understand data a lot better, and really enjoy working with data and data analytics, and are also into financial background. From that perspective, I'm about to cover one institution out here, and please listen to me very carefully of why you should be keeping it as an option if you are very financially inclined and beyond banking, you want to deal with life and also understand data and really enjoy dealing with data and interpreting data and analyzing data. Right. Now, before I move further, 3 requests from my side. Please subscribe to MBA 360. If you want me to cover any B school, write to me in the message box. I'll be happy to talk, cover that for you. And if you want to talk to our counselor personally, message us on the WhatsApp number out here, and one of our counselors will call you. Now, about this particular institution, what we're talking about is a PGDM program in a public institution which is publicly funded or funded by one of the regulatory bodies or one of the public sector units, which is good, right? And the placement report here is Dedicated Placement Office Act. So the first thing is it's promoted by IRDAI. IRDAI is insurance regulator. It's called Insurance Regulatory Authority of India. Now this one, IRDAI, has been regulating all the insurance companies in the country since it's been formed, right? Earlier there was no regulator, now we actually have an insurance regulator, and that institution wanted to create larger workforce in the insurance domain, specialized insurance domain, and funded this institute or created this institute. It's a joint venture between IRDAI, which is again, as I said, a Government of India regulator, and the Government of Telangana. So it's obviously based in Hyderabad in that sense, right? Now, it's got a dedicated placement office acting as interface between industry and students, and the program focus is specialized in financial services, insurance, risk management, actuarial sciences. That's the specialization that they're offering. The curriculum is designed with industry inputs and practical exposure. The faculty is experienced and qualified faculty with industry exposure. I've still not given you the name. I'll get back to you on the name very soon, right? And the regular interaction with corporates and all. So this institution is called the Institute of Insurance and Risk Management. Institute of Insurance and Risk Management. As I said, it's funded by the Government of Telangana and IRDAI, which is a regulator for all the insurance that happens in this country, right from LIC to GIC to private insurance companies to life insurance companies or general insurance companies. All those companies actually are regulated by IRDAI, and IRDAI formed this institute called Institute of Insurance and Risk Management. And the PGDM Institute of this one is a focused program in insurance, risk, and financial services, backed by Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India and the Government of Telangana, aimed at building industry-ready professionals. That's the aim with which this institution was started. Why do we recommend that? I'll take you through some data. This was established in 2002, established by IRDAI and Government of Telangana. Right. The rating by Career History is AAA. The total number of students is 243. 58% are boys, 42% are girls, and about 30% students come from outside the state. So the number of students that you have from outside the state is about 30%, and within the state is 70%. Now, and the faculty is 27, which means we actually have a student-faculty ratio of 1:9, 1:10 kind of a thing, which is a very good faculty-student ratio. Now, the placement numbers, that's very important for all of us. So what we got is a data of 23-24, which means they joined in 21-22, right, and passed out in 23-24. Here the admitted student was 124 students, graduated, all 124 graduated, which is very good, 100% graduation, right? The place was 112, and 2 students opted for higher studies also, which means the placement is 92%. That's a very good number, 92% placement rate. Now if you look at it in previous years also, the placement is about 100% for each of them. The reason why some of these institutions do very well is because a lot of insurance companies, they invariably go to an institution that's funded by the regulator and try to recruit from there. I'm not saying it's compulsory, but they do that because it's a specialized manpower that's been created by these institutions. And they would always want some kind of a compliance, some kind of an understanding of how the regulator functions, so they start recruiting from there, which is why this particular data comes out, right? Like earlier also 100% placement, 8.5, 6.5, 7.6 lakh and those kind of things. So you're actually dealing with very, very good, placement percentage conversion in terms of the percentage of students who are getting placed, and also the median salary is also high. Now the reason why we also say, you should look at this data slightly more closely is because not every institution actually places that kind of a percentage of students. These people do that. Because the cohort, the admitted cycle is very, very small. The number of people who are admitted is so small that they find it easy to place them. And because it's genuinely not for profit, they're not trying to deal with fees and those kind of things. They're not trying to increase the number of students who are joining in. They don't increase the fees because they want to maintain it. It's actually created for a different purpose altogether. Objective and mission of creating this institution is completely different as compared to possibly a few private B schools that you have in the country, which is where this kind of data comes out. Right. Now, what are the kind of companies? You always judge a specialized B school based on the kind of recruiters who come in. Do you actually have companies which are in those segments only, in those sectors only coming in, is the first judgment that you must look at. And there, when you look at it, most of the insurance companies in the country actually go there for recruitment. Actlogica, Alliance Insurance, Amazon, Anand Rathi Insurance Brokers, Arca Insurance Brokers, AST Corporation, Axis Bank, Bajaj Alliance, Canara HSBC Oriental Bank of Commerce, Life Insurance Company, Cholamandalam MS General Finance, Deloitte Consulting, India Office Taxation, Digit General Insurance. So you actually have, if you notice that, all the banks, insurance companies, investment banking companies, and those kind of companies are what are essentially going there to recruit from this institution, which is IIRM. Right. What is the structure of program? First of all, it's ACT approved. It's a 2-year full-time master's program. Right. It's a PG diploma. Now, this is equivalent to an MBA. Let me be very clear that all PGDMs in India, PGDMs, which are approved by ACT are equivalent to an MBA, which is what we're dealing with. And the batch commences every year in July. And it's any graduate from a recognized university with a valid score of CAT, XAT, MAT, ATMA, GMAT, CMAT, state level management test. Final year, students can also apply. Based on submitted scores and personal interview is what the selection process is. And how to apply? Right now, it's open for application. You can go check this website, which is www.theirm.ac.in. theirm.ac.in. Right. What is the fee? 75,000 is the registration fee. 3 lakh first installment, 1.75 second installment, 4 lakh third installment. Hostel fee is 1.25 lakhs for each year. Right. In all, the fee is 9.5 lakh. Hostel fee is 2.5 lakh. Total 12 lakh rupees. Now you look at it, you actually have a 8 lakh kind of a placement that is happening here. The total cost is 12 lakh, which means you recover all your fees in about 1.5 years, and the guaranteed placement of about 95-100%. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with almost great assurance that you'll be placed, and you'll recover your costs in 1.5 years. That is the reason why we're asking you to look at that very closely. In fact, some of the private institutions, the cost would be about 20-25 lakh rupees. The placement is 5-6 lakh rupees. And the placement percentage also falls dramatically. As compared to that, this is very, very good as an option. Right. So this is one institution, as I said, I want you to look at very closely. Of course, if you get into one of the IIMs and all, we're not getting into that. If you're getting into tier 1 B schools, we're not getting into that. But if you're interested in finance, you want to look at life beyond banking, your understanding of data, mathematics and everything is very good. And you want to join an institution where the cost structure or the fee structure is slightly moderate and you have reasonable assurance of placement, then IRM is the one. Look out for it. And we'll keep covering such institutions as we move ahead. Keep watching MBA 360 and please subscribe to MBA 360. Thank you so much. Namaste.